Returning to our top story now, and police are investigating how a horrific house fire on Russell Island in Brisbane's east broke out, claiming the lives of a father and his 5 young children. Well, joining me now more for this is Brett Thompson with Queensland Homicide Victims Support Group. Brett, really appreciate your time here on the program. Of course, the police investigation still at its very early stages, according to Queensland Police, who this morning say they're keeping a very open mind on this incident. From a victim's support sort of stance and view, this must be one of the most tragic of stories to have come out of southeast Queensland in quite some time.
Yes, thank you for your time as well. And I also underline that at this point in time, it has not been deemed a homicide, and so to be very clear around that. In terms of the loss of life, it's an absolute tragedy, regardless of the circumstances. And we're pleased to see at this point in time there are support services on the ground for what is a very small and tight community.
It is a tight community. Obviously, the island of Russell Island, many of the school children there travel to the mainland most days to go to school. So there's obviously a connection there between the island and the mainland there at Redland Bay. How difficult will it may be to give counselling and give the support services that these residents of southeast Queensland need, given the remoteness of this location?
Yeah, I guess, a lot of organisations, particularly through COVID, did adapt very quickly on the way they provided support, whether that was, face-to-face, which is always the best option, or whether that is via technology such as Teams or Zoom or whatever the platform might be. So there's certainly lots of opportunity there to provide the support services. The difficulty with this for families in this situation is that there is a significant ripple effect within the family and in the wider community. And I guess our concern from a homicide point of view at the moment for the people that we've been supporting for the last 27 years is that situations like this, regardless of the cause, can trigger some severe emotions, and people can be taken right back to the day they lost their loved ones. And so we certainly recommend and suggest and encourage people that if they're having, if they're triggered by this event, which is very natural, to please reach out to the support agencies which you're currently engaged with, or if you're not engaged with an agency, to seek support as soon as possible.
With the police saying that the entire event requires closer scrutiny, no doubt there'll be a lot of attention on what's occurred there, and people will be wanting to know what has happened. I guess, would your warning be that it could take some time to really just figure this one out, given the nature of a fire and given the nature of where the crime scene is and the type of investigation that the police are flagging? Will this investigation take quite some time in your experience?
Look, when we have very close communications with the QPS because of the nature of our work. In terms of comment around the length of time it's going to take to have due process, I would anticipate it will take some time. They're complex investigations, but what I'm confident with and our organisation is confident with, based upon our history, is that the Queensland investigations are known internationally to be extremely well regarded, and there's a large team out there already. I understand from the news reports and knowing some of the individuals who work on cases like this, they are dedicated beyond belief. And so that's something which may not provide a lot of comfort for people, but it's important to keep that in mind as we traverse across the next few days and then come to a possible suggestion as to what's actually occurred.
Brett Thompson from the Queensland Homicide Victims Support Group, really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on the program.
You're very welcome. Thank you.